Good boy. What are you doing down there? Hey, everybody. Craig, Cardinal Director of Nature Reliance School. Good to be with you this morning. As you might guess, I spend a fair amount of my time reading different books, manuals, text, blog sites, if you will. I spend a lot of time reading for the purpose of, education, inspiration, both. Trying to educate myself and be knowledgeable, trying to be inspired so I can help others and help myself for that matter. And I've been doing a fair amount of reading as of late on this topic because I'm writing my next book on tracking, and I'm really digging into this idea of visual intelligence and perception and how we see things, how we perceive things, and how we take information in, and then we make thoughts in our heads on what it is that we're seeing. Because that's a critical component, as you can imagine, with tracking something. So, doing some reading on this topic of courage, I came across a piece of information that I was just simply not aware of, and if you're not, I hope it helps you. But it came up as it relates to virtues, and I'm going to discuss that in a moment, so hang with me. But I thought it applied really well to a compass, in that, for those of us who do land navigation and bushcraft survival and tasks of that nature, we talk about the 4 cardinal directions. And we know those as north, south, east, and west. But what does this word cardinal mean, and why was it used to describe 4 directions? Well, this writer shares that the word cardinal comes from the root word cardo, from Latin, which means hinge. Now, I'm not a Latin scholar, as you might imagine, and I haven't looked it up, and I'm just taking his word for it. But if that's true, my thought was, why cardinal directions? Well, simply put, for us as individuals, hiking, if you will, they're critical. They are the hinge that allows us to go into an area and come back out. As far as human culture, human society, the same is true. It wasn't until we were able to develop expanded awareness outside of our own geography, if you will, as a species. And one of the ways that we did that was utilizing direction finding and finding our way outside of our own borders, if you will, and our own way, going to sea and opening up trade routes and going across mountaintops and being able to come back home and all the things that go along with it. Human history may, you have to forgive Tracker shaking things around a little bit. We may, as human history, hinged upon these 4 cardinal directions. Now, the writer that I'm reading discusses the 4 cardinal virtues. I mentioned that I would discuss that briefly. And those 4 cardinal virtues are courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom. And the whole of human society, culture, if you will, has, it could be argued that we have also hinged our society, our culture, on virtuous content and virtuous consideration. Roman Catholicism utilizes those, and Christianity as a whole, quite frankly, utilizes these 4 virtues throughout Scripture, if you will, and throughout a lot of education, no matter whether it's Protestant, Catholic, or evangelical, or whatever it might be. It's very critical. Buddhism utilizes these 4 virtues rather well. Just sound thinking has, for many, many years of history, involved the idea of virtue, and we've gotten away from that. So my consideration for us, well, for me personally, I try to look at things on a personal level, and then I try to utilize what I learn on a personal level and then apply that out to what it is that I do as the director of Nature Reliance School to hopefully positively affect others. And here's what I came up with, or at least some basic considerations. Courage. We've got to stand up to the things that we're fearful of and just go through them. We either go through them, over them, under them, or around them. If there's a wall, we figure out a way. We make it happen. We stand up to our own fears. Temperance is one of those words that has a tendency to just get associated rather quickly with, prohibition and alcohol and whatnot have you. But really, temperance is just simply, from my understanding, self-restraint, maybe moderation or something of that nature, where we don't eat the foods that we're not supposed to eat. We don't drink the things that we're not supposed to drink. We don't view the things that we're not supposed to view, and so on. If we look at justice, justice is really more than anything a battle between selfishness and selflessness, and there's a battle there. And I struggle with this, quite frankly. Selfishness and selflessness. That's a personal battle of mine. And then wisdom is just obviously something that it seems to me, and I'm just trying to, in my most a lack of knowledge position on wisdom, because I'm not a speaker on wisdom, say that it seems like we as a culture, as a society, have gotten really good at acquiring knowledge. We can get knowledge rather quickly. It's at our fingertips now. But the application of that knowledge, which is wisdom, and the application of experiences is, again, wisdom, and we unfortunately have gotten away from that. So, how I apply that to my life directly, that's up to me. How you apply those 4 virtues is up to you. You have to consider these things, in my opinion, and see if it's something that you want to include a consideration for in your daily life. Now, as far as Nature Reliance School, if you come to us, if you come to a class, if you join our online membership, if you watch our videos, if you buy my books, any of these things that we do where Nature Reliance School is the host or the invitee, inviting, or the inviter, and invitee is you, inviting you to join us on them, then please know that, as I've considered deeply over the last few weeks, that these topics are part of what we do. And so we'd love to have you. I mean, at any given class, we're going to give you a lot of personal choices. We've talked about mindset development is a critical component of survival. It's actually something that we build into everything we do, whether it's land nav or tracking or advanced coursework, beginner coursework. We're going to force you to deal with courage and temperance and wisdom and justice on a regular basis. So we'd love to have you. There's going to be a crisis of belief sometimes when you come to, for example, the testing portion of a beginner course, and there's definitely going to be an idea where we put you into the situation where you decide to be selfless or selfish in level 2 coursework. And then level 3 is, it's basically an application of knowledge where we do knife only coursework, where we do lost man exercises, and the host of things that go along with beyond advanced coursework. And so I leave that for you. I challenge you to consider these things. I'm not telling you that you have to be involved in these things in your life, but I am challenging you to see if they can apply to your life. And also consider, like I have, how to apply them directly to you personally. And then how do you then take those lessons that you're learning of the application to yourself and expand that out to the people that are around you, whether that's the people you work with, the people you go to school with, the people in your family, the kids or adults that you mentor, the people that you guide and direct on a regular basis. How can we help take these 4 virtues and expand them out? So that's my message for you for Christmas. Not trying to pretend to be some all-knowing guru of any type. I'm actually a humble servant, or at least I try to be, to knowledge, and trying to gain this knowledge and share with you my struggles and share with you my victories as well. And hopefully you can see through the fact that that all of us have struggles and all of us should have victories if we're looking for them and we apply ourselves directly to obtaining them. So I hope this helps you. I sincerely do. I sincerely hope that it helps you look at what's coming in the new year, 2022. For Nature Reliance School, we've got the craziest, most awesome, fantastic schedule of things that are coming. We have this new NRS online membership. There's going to be courses based upon discussions like what we're having right now, over and above even the skills building courses. So join us. We'd love to have you join us. If not, then get out and challenge yourself. Consider justice and temperance, courage and wisdom in your daily life and see how it can apply to you. So I don't talk like this often. I'm usually pretty simple, but sometimes I share what's going on in my head, and that's what I've done today. And I don't feel comfortable doing it. So thank you for indulging me. I appreciate you very much. My family appreciates you greatly for everything that you've done to support Nature Reliance School in years past. And I literally stand on the shoulders of giants that have come before me, that have taught me, the other folks that lead and instruct and mentor people in class at Nature Reliance School. And we would love to be able to have you join us, and we can learn from you, and you can learn from us. Come on, join in. Let's learn together.